There are certain thoughts, of course, which would be required to be placed first amongst the office bearers and then before the Apex Council. And because that's how the system is, that's how the constitution is. So we will go by the constitution. But we have certain ideas or thoughts which I thought that it is appropriate to say before you. First of all is to make the indoor facility at Eden Gardens functional at the earliest. I think the Honorary Secretary has already visited the Eden Garden, the indoor facility here, and he has already started follow-up processes, because I think it is very important that we must make it functional, and we have given about 40 to 50 days as a deadline, because we want to inaugurate it in the month of March, and that is how our approach would be. Next is, I had already highlighted earlier that we would be introducing code of conduct. That would be for the players and also for the support staff also, because I think it would be on the lines of the code of conduct that the BCCI has. Amrao Sheikh Lainai Korbo, because I think it is necessary to maintain discipline and also to ensure that the provisions of the constitution are adhered to. Third is renewal of lease of Eden Gardens. As you know that within the next couple of years, the renewal would be due, and it takes a lot of time to put things in the right perspective, and because there's always a lot of dialogue with the Ministry of Defence and at various levels. So we would initiate that, and of course earlier it was for 15 years, we'll have to see for how many years it will be, and because as you know that there are two global events coming up. One is in 2021 and the other one is in 2023. So we will take all necessary measures before that, because we don't want the renewal issue to be raked up just maybe 2 or 3 months before a global tournament. So that has to be done before. Next is to take up with the authorities and avail permissions to implement the Moidan Infrastructure Development Scheme for the benefit of the local cricketers. This project would also include development works in districts and university grounds and making them self-sufficient to host board matches. Steps would also be taken to ensure proper maintenance of the indoor facilities at the districts. See, I think as far as this proposal is concerned, this was placed before the working committee. It was called working committee then and not the Apex Council. So it already has the approval of the working committee, but as you know that we were not receiving the finances from the BCCI because of the various issues relating to Lodha reforms. So we could not implement. But basically what we want here is that the local infrastructure, maybe when you go to grounds here in Moidan, so we want better tents, we want better sanitation facilities, we want firefighting facilities, because as you know that there was an incident 1 year back, so we would want to address all those issues together. Next is, as I said also, is about the indoor facilities which we have developed in each of the districts, but maintenance of that is also very important. So we will look into that issue as well. Thereafter, as I said a bit earlier, that there are major events coming up, so obviously a lot of requirements are there which we would have to do. In fact, to meet that, for example, we need 4 dressing rooms, to be honest, because there are back-to-back games and we have 2 dressing rooms. Last time we had to make arrangement of makeshift dressing rooms, and which was here where we are sitting now. So obviously we would want to address that. Plus there are other permissions required and designing, and which takes a lot of time. So I'm not too sure how much we would be able to do that before the 2021 World event, which is the World T20, but 2023 when the World Cup is there, so we would want to do these infrastructure development work, which includes maybe refurbishment of the clubhouse, because you have to understand that this clubhouse was done way back in 1987. Those days there was no money in the game, and we had done the best of facilities. But
we have got certain ideas for that, which we are going to implement step by step. I think our President has clarified everything, what are our ideas and how we are going to proceed in near future. And the most good thing, which I think that we have got a very young team with Abhishek is the youngest president to be the president, with Naresh Da, whom I have played a lot of cricket. Devuda is a really hard-working person, and my uncle Devashish who really is the Abhishek said that every evening he comes down, and I've seen him working on every part of every penny, which is very, very important, I think. And very important is that everything should be absolutely clear and crystal. And not only this effort should be from the office bearers, I think all the important committee members like Tournament Committee, Fixture Committee, we have got a lot of curators who are preparing even club grounds, which nowadays we can't even think of that. We have got observers who is having control on the situations of the ground. What we need is very important, as Abhishek has said, that code of conduct, which I think is very important.
ভালো টিম, আরো ভালো খেলা, আরো ভালো চ্যাম্পিয়নকে নিয়ে এগিয়ে নিয়ে যাওয়া, আরো ডিসিপ্লিন এবং ইউনাইটেড হয়ে থাকবে। আগে এর যে ঐতিহ্যটা ছিল সেটাকে মেনটেন করা।